I've been talking a lot, Bobby. Give me your immediate reaction or response or thoughts on just the Patriots draft in general. What were your first takeaways?
I like the draft. I would say overall, it's a different draft when you're drafting from the position than they are now. From being in the top 5 the past couple of years, that you get different calibers of players and they have to make different decisions. So they trade up for a tackle, trade up for an edge. Um, I think getting a tackle of the future or another high-end offensive lineman is a good thing for them. They're going to need tackle insurance, and if this guy just comes in and they do a best 5 thing where he plays guard this year, or he's basically the 6th offensive lineman because they have guys that could get injured, that's all well and good. Tackle's a premium position. The edge player, he's more of a play now guy. I think that's it could be a really good pick. I like the way he plays. He's big. He's physical.
Gabe Jacas.
College. Gabe Jacas, high school wrestler. So those guys are nasty. Tight ends, those are always developmental, but he's big, he's fast, he looks like a playmaker. Long arms, could be a good goal line target, the type of guy for Drake May. After that, it's all fodder. I mean, that's all just whatever. Maybe the running back sticks because he's a running back. So those are special team guys and backups, but just like you said, they don't draft for need. Yeah, they 100% drafted for need. In the end, all that matters is if those guys can play.
Yeah, well, that's and that's the obvious point, but it's right. And the more obvious point is Toot again on fire. We told you they were going to draft for need. They did draft for need, and I think that's the biggest reason why the draft looks so good because nobody knows if these guys can play. Yeah, nobody has any idea. But when you, in your mind, if you're a fan or you follow the team and you understand where the holes are and what's important, and you look at that draft and you go, shit, if those guys pan out, we're going to be in good shape. It's like, well, yeah, you needed all those guys, and that's why you drafted for them. And that's what you did. You drafted at the position that you needed. So don't tell me that you don't draft for position of need. Like, it's
100%. That's what
obvious.
you do.
And I'm not saying it's necessarily bad. It all comes down to scouting. I have one second guess knowing nothing about the players, just where they were picked. Gabe Jacas in the second round was picked right in the middle of the first run on tight ends. Yep. So they ended up with this Eli Raridon out of Notre Dame, and they got him in the third round. He was the 8th ranked tight end in the draft, if that means anything for you. In the second round, when they took Jacas, they were a tight end picked before him and a tight end picked after him. Yep. So that's just the initial second guess we can look back on this year and the years to come is, did your tight end pan out? How good is your edge guy? Should you have taken one of those tight ends instead of the edge guy to help out Drake May? That's kind of something I'll be keeping an eye on. I like that they doubled down on tackle. Like you said, it's a premium position. Yep. And I like that they traded up for guys. I like that they identified guys and were not afraid to give up some capital to go get them in and around where they're picking. That shows me that they at least had some confidence or were showcasing confidence in the guys that they picked.
I agree. I've talked about this with a few people. I mean, they say last year with their 2 4th-round picks, who did they get? Jared Wilson and Craig Woodson. Yep. So to their point is you can get guys there. Well, it's still a crapshoot. They got lucky. Obviously, they identified the players and they got them. But this year, in a draft that isn't as good as last year, they moved up and they get 2 premium positions. You don't get starting tackles outside of the top 40 picks. You just don't. So they got this guy. And the same thing, edge, that's a defensive lineman. He's that's a frontline player. The guy's 265 pounds. You don't find good ones, again, outside of the top 2 or 3 rounds. So they are worth spending capital on if you have to go up there and get them. And at least to your point with the tight end's a developmental position. Most of these guys, they got to come in and they got to get a little bit bigger. They got to learn how to block, run routes. The tight end has to learn everything. They got to be in the running game and the passing meetings. So it is more of a developmental thing. And you can find tight ends in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round because they take time to develop. So at least with I am of the philosophy you're going to draft up front the big nasties. Spend the capital on the big guys. They're the ones that win the games. And yes, at least it showed draft that they were in control of their own draft in doing this. If they pick the right players and it works out, as long as Lomu isn't too zesty, I think we're good.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. It just looks like they had a philosophy. You look down, the only outlier maybe is that cornerback in the 5th round, and maybe that was a talent pick. Maybe they really liked him, and he was high on their board, and he was sitting there. We think he's not a need, but we did just hear rumor that Christian Gonzalez may be the swap for AJ Brown, so who knows? We'll get to that in a second as well for Patriots news. But so they rounded out. They take another tackle in the 6th. They get a linebacker also in the 6th. And then that rat of a wolf, Elliott Wolf, on the day that Mike Vrabel is trying to clean up his marriage, goes and gets himself a quarterback, just like him and Papa Wolf like to do. Something named Behren Morton out of from Texas Tech. They got the pick out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, great.
The next Patrick fucking Mahomes kid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he majored in like music or something. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be real helpful for us.
You got a running back and an edge to round that out. A lot of picks, obviously. Yeah. So it's nice to see they had their philosophy going. And I agree with you. And it's probably easier to scout those. I know it's easier. It's easier to scout those guys in the top 3 picks because there's more tape on them, and they've played in high profile games. So you identify them there, and you kind of play the talent game in your pockets and need the rest of the draft.
And everybody thinks he did good because all the media and everybody outside, oh, you got this guy. They've been hearing about him in college and for years saying he's one of the best at this. When you're picking at 30, nobody knows those people. It's just whatever they read on whatever draft guide. Nobody knows who Caleb Lomu was.
Right. I'm just glad we're out of the Cole Strange, Bill Belichick era being smarter than everybody else. It's like just because if this guy gets hyped up in ESPN, I'm not taking him. I'm going to take the kid that's no one ever heard of from,
exactly.
Kyle Duggar from what the fuck? What D2 school did he play with? Loyola State?
Yeah. Leona Ryan.
There you go. I'm glad we're out of that era, that they're actually taking guys with a potential talent because, again, nobody knows who's going to be good. Not a single person. Nobody knows. Speaking of that, another person that does not know is Mike Vrabel. He knows less than he would have a year ago because he was not there on day 3 of the draft, taking care of his commitment for family counseling.
I'll tell you what, we got this one wrong. We got this one wrong.
This son of a bitch is not going away. New York Post just continue to drop bombs
and just fucking laying the pipe on Mike Vrabel.
And now the internet's got a hold of it. It's like the Swifties are out there pulling up Spotify lists from 4 years ago and shit. We've got potential love child out there. Diana Rossini, she deleted her Twitter as an NFL reporter with however many followers she had, just deleted it to delete the breadcrumbs. So that's what you got going on. For us, we've said it right from the beginning, is how is it going to affect the football team? That's kind of what we want to focus on. Is he going to be changed as a coach, as a leader? Some players spoke here at OTAs. I heard Hunter Henry and who else spoke? Spillane. Yep. Both of them had nothing but positive things to say about Vrabel, as you would expect. But we'll see. Results will be the dictator of that. What do you think day 3 was like there? So he's got Cowden. Ryan Cowden's in the room. I don't think it's Elliott Wolf calling the shots, but do you think he was texting?
I was more thinking about how did this counseling session go for Vrabel when he's sitting there? Like, is he just sitting? Like, it is just, it's a fucking disaster, this whole thing. Like, I can't even. It's so irritating. It's like we're childish enough to laugh at it because it's kind of funny. But like when you just look at it from, we just went through this like awesome season where like everything changed for the Patriots. We're not hated. We're not this. Like we're on the come up. We got Drake May, people like Vrabel. We're a whole new thing. And then it just right into the muck.
Yeah. It's the Patriot way. That's the true Patriot way.
Yeah, it is.
Just living in the muck.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a long fucking time.
Apparently. I'll just say, living in the muck got 6 Super Bowls. So if that's what it takes, I guess we're here for it. Yeah. And we'll see how it goes. The whole counseling thing though was obviously a PR. Like,
oh fuck yeah,
you can just do the fucking counseling Monday. Like,
exactly.
you wanted the headline that you're going to miss a day in the draft. That's how seriously you're
Exactly.
taking it.
Yeah, and like this whole thing is going to be resolved in one Sunday retreat in Utah.
Again, like these crisis managers, these sports teams, the Red Sox are the worst setup, but the Patriots have not been good traditionally either. Don't feed us bullshit, especially in the Boston market. We're going to see through it. We're going to call you out for it. Just act honestly, and you'll get respect. That was bullshit. Fucking missed day 3 of the draft for counseling. Just do it the next day.
I think Vrabel is going to need this to go away. I don't think he's the type of individual that could handle this long term. Like, he's not Bill Belichick. Like, you take like a certain type of like narcissistic asshole to be able to like deal with that. Like, I just think Vrabel's was just having your run of the mill. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I'm just going to dick her down and whatever. But now that it's out there, like, I think it's going to affect him. And like, I don't think, unless it goes away, I don't think he'll be as effective at what he does with this hanging over his head.
Yeah, it seems like a guy that on the outside doesn't care if you like him, but probably wants to be liked and respected. And if this tarnishes that, especially in his locker room, then yeah, that's going to be tough, I think, for him to get pulled out of. All right, last bit of news here. The AJ Brown rumors remain. The latest tidbit we got was the compensation for AJ Brown. The sentiment is a 2028 first-round pick from the Patriots. We also heard that Christian Gonzalez rumor, which I think is ridiculous if they do that. What
stupid! They'll never do that.
That's horrible asset management. But the 2028 first-round pick is interesting.
It's one of those things that when you think about it, well, it's like, oh, it's 2 years from now. Fuck it, do it now. We get the player for 2 years. It just, the more I think about it, that's the dumber of the two. Just trade it for the second-round pick next year. Second-round picks half the time. The Patriots have been fucking them up for years, and their chance of success versus a first-round pick is just a totally different thing. So, second-round pick, 2027 draft, 100%.
Yeah. I think that there are a couple things at play. This deal was made in March. The Patriots agreed to send a first-round pick in March. That's the reason it's a first-round pick, and that's the reason things went quiet. If not, then Roseman would have been shopping AJ Brown this whole time, and you would have 100%. Got the highest bid, and you would have done it at, he wouldn't have done this draft because June 1st is the date, but he would still be shopping the player, and he would wait till August or like make AJ Brown sit out. Like, he's a shrewd GM. He's not just going to take second-round pick and fodder. So I think that's why it's a first-round pick. I think the Patriot, that was the going run. Waddle went for a big
first and third, I think.
Yeah. So it was always rumored it was going to be a first-round pick, and then those went away, and I think that's because they backdoor dealed a first-round pick in March, and that's just what it is. I find it hard to believe that the Patriots would gain all of this leverage to this point and still give up a first-round pick. No, that deal's been in place.
Yeah, because that would make sense. As we've stated on the show, the longer they wait, the leverage swings away from the Eagles, but if you make the deal and give it away, but
right,
that's the only way. That's the only way it would stay that way.
I think it'll stay in a couple years from now. But I like that if that is true, I like that they are aggressive. I like that they're being aggressive and not trying to be the smartest guy in the room. What a refreshing thing to see as a Boston fan. Like, not to let the nerds take.
They're going to need a needle mover next year because their schedule's going to flip. They're not going to have the easiest schedule. Teams are going to be gunning for them. They're gonna need somebody to move the needle, and they didn't get him otherwise. And AJ Brown can do that for 1 or 2 years.
Vrabel's head's gonna be all tied up in knots with Rossini's panties or whatever. So
yeah, exactly. He's not going to be getting the release that he was. He's obviously going to be more tense, so he's going to need to figure that out.
There you go. That's it for the Patriots. Go ahead and hit the subscribe, like button. I'll give you 30 seconds on the Bruins who stay alive tonight. Look. They did what I asked them to do. They gave me a playoff season to watch. There were some entertaining games. It was a wildly I'm saying it was because I'm just assuming the series is now over as they move to Game 6. Wildly predictable outcome for a Bruins team that is their roster's just undermanned, and the top end of their talent is inconsistent. David Pastrnak, I'm sure that this is going to get shoved in my face as I've been a Pastrnak kind of hater, but scores your game winner in overtime. Big play for him. McAvoy's been kind of silent. The one guy I'll tell you is moving up the charts of respectability for me is Jeremy Swayman, who is really playing lights out. And we thought that he would crap his pants way before this. So, and we haven't talked about it, but I don't know if you saw it, but he's chirping out his bench on the game 4 where they got absolutely smoked. His defense was horrendous. I mean, the turnovers are just unbelievable. So he's bitching on his bench. And the game before that, he's potentially calling timeout from the ice when the Bruins were about to throw away another 4-goal lead, which never you see a player call timeout in hockey. It just doesn't happen. So maybe there's some leadership qualities from the business school graduate. I don't know, but you're gaining some respect there, Jeremy Swayman.
Maybe University of Maine had a seminar on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure he's got a leadership
online courses.
He's got an online leadership certificate hanging in his locker.
Paid off.
There you go. Okay, that was it. Rate, subscribe, review. We'll see if the Bruins can hang on until next time we talk about it live next Tuesday. Until then, we've got a brand new segment called 5 Questions from a Guy Named Rob and This or That from a Guy Named Dick. So there you go. These are going to be... So stick around. You'll find out.